With 2023 being a very strange year for the box office and 2024 is now upon us, it is time to take a look at the biggest and most anticipated movies of 2024 and rank them from least to most anticipated. This is going to be a weird year for movies, not quite like 2020, but the impact of the SAG-AFTRA strike certainly is going to be felt this year, especially when it comes to comic book movies. But before we get into it, let me know down in the comments below, what movies are you looking forward to the most? There's about 10 more movies I wanted to include on my list that are honorable mentions. What are some of the movies that are maybe slipping us by? And with that said, let's get started. Coming in at number 10, we have Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Now, I'm a big Godzilla fan who grew up watching Godzilla and Kong movies, but also has not seen any of the recent Godzilla movies in recent years, so I'm actually going to be going through and watching all of the legendary modern Godzilla movies as well as the Toho Studios ones and ranking them all from a first-time watching perspective. That being said, these big event-type films are always a fun watch. They might be slightly cheesy to some, but this year is looking a little bit bare when it comes to big blockbusters that also look appealing. Number 9, we have Argyle. I'm probably butchering that name, but it's an upcoming spy action comedy film directed and produced by Matthew Vaughn, starring Henry Cavill. This is a match that many DC fans will think sounds familiar, as over the years, Matthew Vaughn was one of the many directors rumored to be attached to Man of Steel 2, starring Henry Cavill, which never came to fruition. So this will be nice to see the directing talents of Matthew Vaughn with the talent of Henry Cavill, as well as a big star-studded cast in Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Dua Lipa, John Cena, and Samuel L. Jackson. Number 8, we have If, aka Imaginary Friends. This is another yet star-studded film. If is an upcoming American live-action animated fantasy comedy film written, directed, and co-produced and starring John Krasinski, with an amazing ensemble cast of Ryan Reynolds, Kaylee Fleming, Fiona Shaw, with other major actors giving their voiceover performances in Steve Carell, Matthew Vaughn, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Jon Stewart, and Christopher Maloney. A young girl named Bea gains the ability to see people's imaginary friends, referred to as Ifs for short, who have been abandoned by the kids they helped. Bea then discovers that her neighbor, the man upstairs, played by Reynolds, has the same ability. An interesting premise for a film with a ton of talent attached. Number 7, we have Mickey 17. Mickey 17 is an upcoming American science fiction film written, directed, and co-produced by Bong Joon-ho, based on the 2022 novel Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. It stars Robert Pattinson, Steven Yeun, Naomi Ackie, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo. Mickey 17 follows the story of an expendable who is a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world, Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. Number 6, we have Alien Romulus, which is an upcoming American science fiction horror film, a standalone installment in the Alien franchise, which will be set between the events of Alien 1979 and Aliens 1986. It's directed by Fede Alvarez. It stars Kaylee Spaney, with the film scheduled to be theatrically released on August 16th, 2024 by 20th Century Studios, so the first Alien movie produced by Disney as opposed to Fox. I know a lot of people weren't big fans of Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I myself was, so I have not lost any sense of excitement for this franchise, so I'm very interested to see the next film, which is apparently going to be structured similarly to Hulu's Prey, which, if executed correctly, could be really special and could make for a great sci-fi horror movie. The star of the film said that a return of practical effects and physical sets will benefit this film. Quote, "They brought the same team from Aliens, the James Cameron film. The same people who built those xenomorphs actually came on and built ours." Are you excited for the next Alien movie? Number 5, we have Sonic 3, the sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and a follow-up to Knuckles 2024. Ben Schwartz will be returning as Sonic the Hedgehog, Colleen O'Shaughnessy will be returning as Tails, and Idris Elba as Knuckles the Echidna, with fans also highly anticipating the addition of Shadow the Hedgehog. This movie, like the first two, looks like a ton of fun. Number 4, we have Beetlejuice 2. I'm a lifelong fan of the original, and I'm honestly surprised to not see this movie on a ton of other people's lists. I don't know if I'm missing something, but Michael freaking Keaton, back-to-back years, is going to be playing Batman and Beetlejuice. Other cast members include Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and Willem Dafoe, and I am all here for it. I'm a little worried about the report of the film focusing on the living and not having some of the original characters and actors returning. You have the two most important returning, though, in Michael Keaton and Tim Burton. Number 3, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This film serves as the sequel to War for the Planet of the Apes and is the 4th installment in the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy, which is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And with what that first film did, the 2 Matt Reeves sequels following it, I thought were even better. The quality standards and expectations for this film, safe to say, are very high. Number 2, we have Joker Folie à Deux. I'm probably mispronouncing that as well. I was blown away by the trailers of that first Joker film, and I went into that movie with such high expectations and was not disappointed in the least. The performance from Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar, and rightfully so. The story, the setting, the tone, the themes of the movie, and diving into mental illness and society's rejection of people who need help, everything about that movie screamed quality. It went on to being the highest-grossing R-rated film of all time, and of course, a sequel was greenlit. A sequel that is going to be a musical, yes, and as somebody who hates musicals, leaves me worried and hoping for a limited amount of musical numbers in the film. Joaquin Phoenix reprises his role as the Joker, Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn, Zazie Beetz will be returning, as well as Todd Phillips returning to direct. But coming in at number 1 is Deadpool 3, and man, this film has gone through the ringer. Not quite like The Flash, but still the ringer nonetheless, with strikes, delays, and, of course, studio buyouts. The untitled Deadpool film, commonly known as Deadpool 3, is an upcoming Marvel film intended to be the 34th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a sequel to Deadpool, Deadpool 2. You got Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman returning as Deadpool and Wolverine, and many other characters and cameos rumored for the film. Development on a third Deadpool film began at 20th Century Fox way back in November 2018, but was placed on hold after the studio was acquired by Disney in 2019 in March, in which control of the Fox-owned characters were transferred to Marvel Studios. Deadpool 3 integrates Deadpool with the MCU and is expected to retain the R rating of the previous films, the first MCU film to have such a rating. A long time in the making, but I don't remember the type of hype around a film like this since well before Guardians 3, which did not have the same stakes riding on a film like that, which only needed to conclude a trilogy. This film is potentially concluding a trilogy, giving Hugh Jackman one final send-off as Wolverine, while hopefully not muddying the waters that is Wolverine's finale in Logan, bringing R-rated material to the MCU, bringing Deadpool and other mutants into the MCU, and also seeing if even a comic book film in general, regardless of the rating, can still be a giant hit. We've seen some hits in 2023, but we've also seen some misses that look like they're going to be hits in 2023, so 2024 is sure to be interesting, to say the least. But that does it for my top 10 most anticipated movie list. But before you go, make sure to leave down in the comments below which of these films made it to your list and which ones are on yours that didn't make it to mine. I'd love to see. I'd ask you to also like and subscribe this video as we are a small channel and it truly helps support us more than you know. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a wonderful day.